Hey guys, how you doing? Lazy Rager here. I wanted to go over my Eldlich deck and show kind of what I use. Um, it's pretty good. I win quite often with it. Sometimes I do lose. Just depends. I win a lot more than I lose though with this deck. So I'll kind of go over the main deck first. And now for my Eldlich deck, I like to use 3 Golden Lords. Now I've seen people share their deck lists and they only use 2. But like to me, this is like the best card in the whole deck. Why would you not run 3? And you know, it's just really nice when you could, you know, pull an Eldlich the Golden Lord. I mean, the whole deck functions around this. This is Eldlich deck, not Eldlich Brandon, none of that. This is strictly Eldlich. So I'm running 3 Golden Lords. I'm also running 3 Heavenly Prisons. This card is so broken. It is literally unreal. This card is so broken, guys. I'm so glad this card got reprinted. This is a card I really want to add to Eldlich. I mean, there's the fact that you can literally protect your back row from destruction. I mean, best way to protect your your traps is Heavenly Prison. Basically a god card. If you start the duel with that, that's really good. I still am using 3 Ash Blossoms. You know, I've been noticing that the community is starting to feel like this card isn't as important. To some degree, I can kind of agree. Ash Blossom, you know, is, you know, one of the staple trap cards. Very beautiful card. Very helpful. However, in my deck, since it's just Eldlich, this is a zombie tuner. So it does leave room for synchro summons as well. So I do kind of like to run 3 Ash Blossoms just for the option. And so these are the monsters, okay? And now we'll kind of finish the Eldlich package. I use 3 Cursed Eldlands. I've seen people use 2. Me personally, I really believe that 3 is really nice. I mean, this card will help bait other Ash Blossoms. It helps bait negates, and it's for a low cost of only 800 life points. To me, that's a very small price to pay to be able to grab a Golden Lord right from the deck. And then also the graveyard effect is really nice. So I like to use 3. I only use 2 Huquero, and I use 3 Conquistador. Now with Huquero's nice. I do feel like you have to run it. It is really nice to be able to just banish people's cards from the graveyard when you activate this if you have Eldlich on the field. So very nice card. Conk. I mean, what other what can I say about this card other than this card is the bee's knees? Quite literally, this card is amazing. Just being able to just pop somebody's cards off the field is really nice. So I do like to run 2 and 3. And then to finish the Eldlich package, I do run 3 Scarlet Sanguines. Another really amazing card. Keep in mind that this card here will also summon a zombie type, which is your Ash Blossom. So if you if you use a Conquistador, you throw that bad boy in defense, you pop a card on the field, you can still use Ash Blossom as a monster card tuner, and you could use it to synchro summon. I believe you could use it to synchro summon up to like level 8. So there's definitely room for synchro monsters. So that's the Eldlich package. Now I do run 3 Solemn Strikes, and I only run 2 Solemn Judgments. Now Solemn Judgments, I find that sometimes I'll side deck something else in, and I'll kind of go to those to pull them out. But you do want to have these one-off cards. I mean, these could literally stop your opponent dead in their tracks. You just want to be very methodical, and when you actually activate these cards, keep in mind that if you do activate it, it's almost like an Ash Blossom where you stop one effect and they may just keep rolling down with more effects. So these are good cards to have. They're also good cards to side deck and other stuff. Now, of course, I have to run 3 Skill Drain. You know, why wouldn't you? This card is literally incredible. I was so happy to get my hands on these. This one here, you know, I like to run 3 different rarities just to show them off. But just to be able to stop your opponent's monster's effects, because truthfully, you're not going to be using like Eldlich's Eldlich's effect, their hand effects, their graveyard effects. You don't really rely on monster effects. So beautiful card, beautiful. And keep in mind too that you know if you run Heavenly Prison, it's going to protect these skill drains when they're face down. But the second that it's face up, you know, it could be destroyed. So running 3 is really nice. Now, with my floodgates, I do like to run 2 of each. Anti-Spell Fragrance, Summon Limit, Goes and Match. There can only be one. Now, I really like these cards here. The only way that I could really... So, like, you could take Solemn Strike out, and you could run 2 and 2, so 2 Judgments, 2 Strikes, and you could opt in another Anti-Spell Fragrance, depending on, you know, if you're doing like a tournament and you need a side deck. Summon Limit, I mean, being able to stop the opponent from summoning more than twice per turn is crazy. Goes and Match, to be able to hold people's decks to just 1 attribute. Something to keep in mind too with Goes and Match. I do like Goes and Match over Rivalry of Warlords. Now I do have Rivalry of Warlords in my side deck. However, Goes and Match, I just feel like in today's meta, this card is incredible. Most people are running their decks with 1 type. Yet there's a ton of different attributes. Prank Kids, Evil Heroes, Destiny Heroes, you know, all those kinds of decks. Even MathMech, they run different attributes. So, but they're all cybers. So Rivalry, I found that I was breaking a lot with. So Goes and Match is definitely a great card. And then there can only be one. Beautiful Floodgate. Sometimes this can hurt you because you can only control 1 zombie type monster then, but vice versa for your opponent. So I mean, incredible Floodgate. I even run one of these in my Runic deck just to really throw people through the ringer. To be able to throw a Floodgate like this and then just mill somebody's deck like with Runic, incredible. So I do like to keep it with a standard 2 per Floodgate. Leaves room for adjustments. I also run the package of Ice Dragon Prison. This card is, again, super amazing. I mean, it's beautiful. My buddy I play against, he'll be using MathMech, and he'll load up on his field, and he'll get to his his big bad Cybers monster, and you use Ice Dragon's Prison. It's like, okay, let me just banish the card from your graveyard because it comes to my field, and I get to pick your Cybers monster on your field. So just the fact that you could really just basically banish a card from your opponent's graveyard and on their field all at the same time, great package to run. So I do like to run 2 of those. And then to finish it off, I do run 2 Pot of Extravagance. Yes, I know. A lot of people run 3. 3 makes more sense, you know, because then you'll run into it more. However, with Pot of Extravagance specifically, I am banishing most of my extra deck by doing these. Just in the 2, I mean, you don't use Pot of Extravagance and only do 3. You always want to do 6. So knowing that, I'm already going to clear out 12 cards out of my extra deck. I found that I was breaking a lot more when I ran 3. So I do only run 2. On the flip side, you could run Pot of Prosperity, and it's recently been reprinted. So yes, Pot of Prosperity, you know, is good. However, in Eldlich, you don't really care about the extra deck that much. So it's an easy draw too, quite honestly. That or you can bait somebody's, you know, you can bait somebody's Ash Blossoms. So that's kind of the Eldlich deck in all its glory. And now to just kind of wrap things up, I wanted to go over the extra deck. Really, guys, the extra deck is, you know, you can put whatever you want in it. This is just kind of what I run. Keep in mind, too, that I don't really rely on my extra deck too often. I really believe that this thing is insane. Just the fact that you could literally, like, let's say you don't have Skill Drain on the field, you could actually use this card's effect. You take 2 Golden Lords, which is very, very doable, and you'll Xyz summon into this bad boy. You could go through your whole battle phase, and then main phase 2, you could literally torch them for another 2,000 damage. And keep in mind, then you have a Golden Lord in your graveyard where you can activate its effect to bring Golden Lord back to your hand and give it, and then special summon it and give it that extra boost in attack. So I really do believe that this is probably the most useful extra deck monster when it comes to Eldlich, just in terms of burning your opponent's life points. I do have 3 Vampire Fascinators. It's not a bad card if you could actually manage to link into it. It's all right. It's a zombie type, so that's kind of why. Thought Ruler Archfiend card used to tear people up back in the day, back during 5Ds. I do believe this card is still good. It's all right in Eldlich. I prefer to go into my Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, or Stardust Spark Dragon's a really nice one to go into a Synchro Summon. You're gonna see your Xyz summons a lot more than your Synchros. Keep in mind, you need your Ash Blossoms to do these Synchros, so it's not mandatory. I do like to run Firewall Dragon. Now this is another card that, like, you don't see too often. You won't play into it too often. However, it is an option. It is there. It is possible. I've used it once or twice. And again, you're going to be pitching most of your extra deck, and it's going to be at random. So that's why I run 3. And I mean, come on, the artwork is amazing. I have all 3 different alternative artworks for Firewall. So that's kind of cool. And then I run a little Salamangreat. Yeah, just keep it simple. 1 normal summon monster with 1,000 or less attack, which could be your Ash Blossom. So again, you can link into this. Yeah, again, you're going to be pitching most of your extra deck, so it is not necessary. Your extra deck, guys, it could be completely different. It doesn't have to be with these cards here. Again, you know, Eldlich to me, man, is still top tier, especially when you're running these Heavenly Prisons. This deck is so broken. I'm surprised that Konami hasn't hit this deck with the ban list in any sort of facet. So I really truly do believe that Eldlich is still a top meta. I win all the time with this deck. It is possible to run into some stuff after your first duel if you're doing it tournament style. So I tend to keep extra floodgates in my, in my side deck, Harpies or Lightning Storms, or, just some one-off kind of cards. So this is my first deck list review. I do have a lot of other decks, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, but then I've got higher tier kind of decks like Cyber Dragon, Branded Despia, Runic. I am working on a Crystal Beast deck list right now. So if you did manage to make it to the end of this video and you did like it, please, please, please leave me a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the, at the bottom of the video. Let me know what you guys use in Eldlich, and let me know if you use Eldlich. Do you like Eldlich? I fell in love with this deck when I started using Master Duels back when the game came out. I actually never knew about Eldlich till then. And I just love this style. You know, the monsters, the deck, the combos. I mean, there's always a combo from the graveyard, hand, wherever. But yeah, definitely stay tuned. Let me know. And yeah, later.